Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Mirade.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insiders and keep wrestling legends working on eBay. At Survivor Series, it was champion versus champion as WWE Champion Drew McIntyre battled Universal Champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. Get this 11x14 poster autographed by all three men. Limited edition, number 42 of only 50, with authentication hologram on the back of the poster itself. Comes with a mystery autographed 8x10 photo and an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas on Wrestling Insiders at your house. Get it now. Wrestling fans, Saturday night, May the 8th, MWF Studios gets extreme as ECW legend New Jack joins us for the very first time, taping episodes of Wrestling Insiders along with taking part in a live cyber autograph signing open to fans around the world. For more information on joining the three-time ECW Tag Team Champion for must-see TV, visit bostonwrestling.com and our social media platforms.
Cheer! Why, hello! I would ask what was on your mind, but I already know. You want to know what has got my beard looking oh so majestic. And I'll tell you, it's sexy as hell beard care. Coconut oil, vitamin E oil, almond oil, both sweet and bitter, shea butter, it's all natural. Yes, JTG has actually come out with a high quality product. So support your boy by going to sahbeardcare.com and take one step closer to becoming sexy as hell. Cheer. Ooh, cheer. You know?
Boston Wrestling Sports and the MWF explodes into a new year of unknown with professional wrestling content galore, and we need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after we review the previous night's Monday Night Raw, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with the unpredictable WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights after WWE, NXT, and AEW at 10 p.m., you never know who's going to show up on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll journey through the 80s and 90s on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday nights after the lights go down at the Thunderdome on SmackDown, it's John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. If you want early, ad-free access to all of our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and to help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times, for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, as we were getting soaked at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa during night one of WrestleMania 37 last Saturday night. Boy, did we miss you. We're slowly getting back into action tonight first with our review of last night's WWE SmackDown, then at 10 p.m., the top of the hour, where we didn't have a full week of Wrestling Insiders to have a weekend review program with. We have a special bonus episode of Wrestling Insiders Monday mission with Oscar of Men on a Mission of mid-90s WWF fame, where we break down WrestleMania 37 and everything going on with WWE for nearly 2 hours. We'll be back on our regular schedule this coming week. If you missed this week's Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty featuring Marty Jannetty Thursday night, or John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders, Fabulous Fridays, Last Night After SmackDown. Have no fear, they are available in the archives now. One big notable, as you may have seen at the top of the program tonight, due to time restraints and a crazy week in Tampa for so many great talents at WrestleMania, ECW legend New Jack is going to be joining us LIVE live in this very studio Saturday night, May the 8th. It's going to be a very interesting look at the career of New Jack. He has some topics that he wants to discuss. I'm going to save those for when we're on the air. And along with that, we're going to have the live episode, the Cyber Autograph signing, where fans from around the world can interact with New Jack, get an autographed picture, and so on and so forth. Really looking to having New Jack with us in studio for the very first time. A lot has been said about the man. We had him here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation back in 2002, and I liked New Jack. I thought he was a good guy, which didn't exactly please Tony Atlas when it came up, but it is what it is. We're all entitled to our own opinions in life, right? Things were up in the air in certain regards before we even left for Florida with everything happening with Tony, and I have about as many answers now as I did then. I was lucky enough to return to new interns here at the studio who are searching high and low through our video archives, as there is some original content, I believe, that wasn't used when coronavirus mania exploded last year. If you missed the news, I actually did see Tony in person in Tampa when we dropped off Demolition Smash at his hotel last Thursday night. It was a disappointing interaction, but I wouldn't call it negative, I guess. For the time being, we might go with some classic Tony episodes for you to enjoy on Tuesday nights as we try and see if there's any way to repair the relationship or if we do need a new permanent co-host. After all the great guests that were with us in Tampa, there are no shortage of options. Tony tried to do a live autograph signing last night on his new acclaimed Facebook page with all of his new Facebook associate, and it was seen by 39 people compared to what sometimes turned into thousands during the live episodes we have. So I'm going to guess it was not a gigantic success for the WWE Hall of Famer. Also beginning this coming week, we have another slight program schedule change, starting with this week's Raw review on Tuesday. Our Raw, NXT, AEW, and SmackDown reviews will all start at 7 p.m. the day after those shows. It makes no sense to premiere the review shows when other companies are having first-run wrestling shows. Then, as we have our original talk shows at 10 p.m., we'll promote a replay at 11 p.m. Along with everything else we're doing, we're working on 2 new programs for your wrestling enjoyment, one based on the future stars of professional wrestling, the other podcast style with an old friend. Don't forget, we will be back with another live pay-per-view watch-along when Impact Wrestling goes live Sunday night, April the 25th. It's going to be champion versus champion. Impact Wrestling champion Rich Swann, the man that blew off Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive, goes one-on-one with AEW champion Kenny Omega. It is going to be a must-see matchup, to say the least. Then we kick off the first Sunday in May, reliving ECW's first pay-per-view, Barely Legal, from April 1997. Perfectly fitting as again, after he was unable to join us at Wrestle House, ECW legend New Jack will be with us the following week, Saturday night, May the 8th, taping episodes of Wrestling Insiders along with the Cyber Autograph episode and live show. Our travels to Tampa certainly hurt our numbers for YouTube this month, fans. Again, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for free. If you click the little notification bell, it updates you on our premieres. Share our links across Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Facebook wrestling groups, wrestling websites. Lets us get new eyeballs on all of our hard work. As noted, the nightlife is hurting due to Corona, but the Boston Wrestling eBay store is open for business 24/7 around the globe. You can check out the link to the eBay store in the description box below. And don't be a fan. Don't be just a friend to us. Join the Boston Wrestling MWF family over on Patreon. Get early ad-free access to Wrestling Insiders, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library that has been seen by millions online, millions more on The Howard Stern Show, Patreon exclusive videos and news, perks, plus the knowledge that you, yes you, are helping keep wrestling legends working over at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. With that said, here is my co-host, Mr. Dave Carter. All right, Dave, what a night it was. The first SmackDown under the new Thunderdome in Tampa, Florida. A 2-hour spectacular, to say the least, a little bit more digestible than Raw. I pass the baton to you as we take a look at what went on with the Blue Brand 24 hours ago.
All right, well, SmackDown from April 16, 2021. We kicked it off with some video highlights from WrestleMania between Edge, Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns. It was good to see, it was quick, it was easy, just some highlights real quick. And then we seen Pat McAfee introduced as the new commentator for SmackDown. I wasn't happy about it at first, but you know what? After listening to him during the show, there were some things that, was maybe a little outlandish, a little over the top with them. But for the most part, he was actually not that bad. What did you feel like that? Because I wanted to know how you felt. I think I texted you.
I would take Samoa Joe over him.
Yeah, well,
I would take Pat McAfee over Beth Phoenix if they wanted to try and restructure the broadcast teams. WWE, for whatever reason, they feel like when things are down, let's change the broadcast team. I rarely find the broadcast team is part of the problem. I think Michael Cole has been a big part of the problem, dating back to when he became a full-time on-air announcer. Is while he's good at interviews, I think he's very good at voiceovers. I don't think he's very good at calling professional wrestling matches. I don't think he's good at getting wrestling angles over. I don't think he's good at getting wrestling vendettas over. I don't think he's good at getting wrestling moves over because he has no credibility with that. But Michael Cole isn't going anywhere, at least in the immediate future. As far as the shakeup goes with everybody else, I don't see the need to have replaced Tom Phillips on Raw. I think he did a suitable job, if nothing else. I thought Samoa Joe had that in-ring credibility that a color commentator should have. Flip-flopping Corey Graves to a different show, I really don't see the need to have split up him and Michael Cole. I think they're actually pretty good together. I think Cole is better on SmackDown than he is on Raw. And then to pull someone out of the world of sports and throw them on Raw as the new play-by-play man, I'm a little confused by that as well. So there's a lot of confusion going on with the WWE commentary, and I don't think it helps the product.
Well, like I said, I wasn't a big fan of it at first, but I didn't think he did a bad job. I think sometimes he's playing a little too much of a fanboy, but I mean, and that's great if you're watching it, but when I'm listening to a commentator, I want to see it as, like you said, a professional broadcast team. I don't want to see it as, standing up, like it's just a little too over the top. But for the most part, I don't think he was that bad. But yes, I would agree. I would much rather have Samoa Joe than him any day. From there, we kicked it off with Roman Reigns coming out to the ring with Paul Heyman and Jey Uso. The virtual fans in the Thunderdome are all chanting, "You suck." It's really loud. Roman's making faces, just like didn't get it. It almost looked like why they were saying it. Roman finally gets on the mic and says he has to put a lot of the eyes on SmackDown. That's what he does. Then Heyman explains to us who Roman beat at WrestleMania. Basically, it's saying what Edge has done for the accomplishments and Daniel Bryan has done for the accomplishments. Roman says he did what he said he was going to do. Nobody wants to face me. Those guys are Hall of Famers. I smashed them. Nobody wants to step up to me now. Nobody is on my level. It's time to go. And then Cesaro's music hits. He heads down to the ring. Cesaro looks bigger than Reigns, which I loved it. I loved that. Maybe not as wide, but tall. Reigns was looking up to him, which is great because you know what? If this is something that Vince likes, bigger guys, taller guys, maybe this will make Cesaro some way, somehow get a push. Bigger than just a one-off match against Roman because he did look bigger than him. I love that. Roman and the crew, I don't know what else to call him, walk out of the ring, basically didn't acknowledge Cesaro and head out back, left Cesaro in the ring. I love this segment. I liked everything about it. It wasn't a lot of talking. It was the visual of just Cesaro and Reigns looking at each other and seeing Cesaro can hang with the big boys.
I think Cesaro had a really nice win at WrestleMania. I think the problem is there's just been so many years of where Cesaro has done nothing of any importance that it's going to take more than just that one win for fans to look at him as a legitimate threat to Roman Reigns or any world champion.
But they started it last night.
Well, yeah, he looked at him. I mean, all right, good. So that means I'm supposed to believe he's going to have a chance to win the title now?
Well, no. What I'm saying is it started last night. It's building it up. So he looked at him. He's saying, you know what? I'm on your level. He didn't say he wanted to shut the title, but he's on his level. Now he fights Jey Uso. Obviously, sets comes, we'll get there. But maybe not right away. But it's showing that Cesaro might be in the hunt. He's got to have some big wins. He had a big win against Seth. Now, if they can do the match again against Jey Uso, that's a big one. They consider him, a pretty big main event Jey Uso. So, maybe a few wins like that down the line. We'll see a Cesaro versus Reigns match.
I have no doubt we're going to see it. I just don't think there's anyone that's going to believe that he has a shot in hell of winning.
Really? Even with the size difference?
Cesaro? No. I mean, he's been there for now 10 years. And I mean, he's had a very nice career. He's had a nice mid-card career. But as far as someone that could be a threat to winning a world championship, I just don't see it right now. I mean, this is something that's going to take more than a couple of months for people to take Cesaro as a serious threat to whoever the world champion may be on either brand. My opinion, but I don't see it. He's just a guy that's always been pretty good, and there's nothing else to go along with it. He needs more than a win over Seth Rollins to get to that point, I think.
I know, I get what you're saying. I just look at it like this, and these are not the same level. What I'm saying is Daniel Bryan, not the biggest guy, nothing, finally got the title, right? Another guy, Kofi Kingston, another guy that was mid-card, had some wins, but was mostly with the New Day, whatever, got the title. Cesaro, same exact thing. Mostly tag teams, here and there, mid-card, maybe he'll get a shot at the title. That's the way I look at it.
He also doesn't have the momentum that those two did going into those WrestleManias. But like I said, it's not impossible. It can be done. I just think it's going to take a lot more time than what they've dedicated thus far.
Right. And I'm not saying even that match is right. I'm not saying it should happen right off the bat, but I'm just saying the visual of it. And if they do it right, this could be huge because he doesn't look small. That was my biggest thing coming out of this, is he doesn't look smaller than Reigns. That's what I like. He actually looked bigger than Reigns, which I liked. So it was good.
At least it's something different, so we can't complain about that.
Right on. From there, we're backstage. We see Adam Pearce and Sonia Deville talking. Cesaro walks up to them and asks them if they've seen what Roman did to him. He wants a match tonight. Title doesn't have to be on the line. Deville says, I will talk to Roman for you. All right. So, a quick thing. So we find out.
Why Sonia Deville wasn't added to the list of releases is amazing to me.
You know why.
Well, because she's a lesbian?
Yeah, LGBT.
Yeah, you got to keep them happy. It has nothing to do with the actual talent that they have. They have to hit all of their demographics and all of their different whatever.
I'm agreeing with you, but I also understand their reasoning too. But all right, so then we get our first match of the night. It's Otis with Chad Gable versus Rey Mysterio with Dominic. Otis was dominating early on. I love this version of Otis. He's more aggressive, not doing all that stupid voice things that you like to do. He's just basically just doing all power moves in the ring. I dig it. I don't know if this will actually get us away from what we used to see of him, but it's a start. Ray jumps on the rope and rolls Otis up for the win, basically. I didn't like the finish at all on this. I thought the match was okay until this. I don't know why Ray needs the win over Otis if you're trying to build up the Alpha Academy and build up Otis again. Having him lose to a smaller Rey Mysterio, I didn't like the finish. What did you think?
Well, I don't know if I'd have Ray be doing jobs for Otis either, but again, that's one man's opinion. I don't understand why Ray wasn't on WrestleMania. I think Otis would have been better off with Tucker, and Tucker would still have a job right now. I believe I noted when they broke up, I hope Tucker was going to save his paychecks. I thought maybe Otis might have dedicated the match to Tucker, but I don't believe he was mentioned at all during that war between Ray and Otis. The Mysterio family battle with Gable and Otis isn't one that exactly lights my interest on fire right now, but we'll see where it goes in a rather slim tag team division on SmackDown.
But to your point about him saying you should necessarily don't see Ray doing the job for, but doesn't Otis need some credible wins to build up his character? So it wouldn't hurt Ray losing to Otis because Ray's established. I would think Otis winning would help his credibility. That's the way I looked at it.
I'm always big when they go that route. Start at the bottom and work your way up. Don't just start with the former world champion. You know what I mean?
Right.
Go with the enhancement guys. Have him squash some 205 Live guys. Make him look out to be a big guy, a monster. And then, you throw him Ray on a pay-per-view. Then if you want to have Ray put him over on a pay-per-view, okay, at least you've done some work to try and give Otis a little bit of some wins, some credibility, as opposed to just saying, okay, now he's with Gable and now Ray's going to lose to him. It's like they're not putting enough effort and thought into it, which is a problem not just with this feud. It's a problem with just about every feud they have in the company for the past 20 years or so.
Right on. I think that, yeah, you're right. From there, we got Kayla Braxton and Paul Heyman talking backstage. You can't hear what they're saying. And then they run the little video package thing that says Roman versus Cesaro next with question marks. So we're not sure. We come back. Kayla and Paul are backstage still. Paul says, do you have any clue Roman star power? There was no rain delay at Mania. It was tears from the angels. Cesaro is $1 billion body, but a 10-cent head. I kind of like that. That was good by him. He's a joke. Let's stop this right now. Tonight live on SmackDown in the main event, it's going to be Jey Uso versus Cesaro. So it was a quick little thing. Obviously, we're not getting Roman versus Cesaro, like we were saying, which he shouldn't be in the title. So I thought, okay, this is what we were talking about, building up, but then the way it finished, we'll talk about. But I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. I like that little line, though, that he said about Cesaro. It was good. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I thought it was a good little promo. Uso is turning into Mr. Main Event on SmackDown, which I think is a good role for him.
Exactly. Right on. So then from there, we're back in the ring. Sami Zayn heads down to the ring. Sami Zayn says he was screwed at WrestleMania. Logan Paul was his guest of honor at Mania. He was supposed to watch his back, and that didn't happen. His brain was poisoned by the WWE Universe. He was distracted in his match with Kevin Owens, and that's why Kevin Owens beat him at WrestleMania. Then KO comes out, and he says, "Give me what I want. There's no one to distract me now." Kevin Owens comes out. We go to commercial, which is so bad commercial timing on that. Because why? What is he going to wait in the ring for the commercial? You know what I mean? If he's coming out to kick someone's ass, not to, you know what I'm saying? Like I just didn't like that part because I feel like if he's coming out before the commercial and then they go to commercial, what's he doing before, they come back? It should have been Sami Zayn still in the ring. We wonder if Kevin Owens is going to come out. Kevin Owens comes out after the commercial. You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree with you 100%. That has been a problem with their TV shows for a long time. I guess they believe that's going to hook fans to stay with them. But in a day where, the ratings continue to more often than not decline, it's not anything that helps.
Right on. And that's, I didn't understand it. So then we come back, and I guess it's a match now, which they didn't even say. It's Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I guess it was made during the commercial break is what Michael Cole said. Oh,
Sonia was all over it.
Yeah, exactly. Sammy's running out of the ring, back in the ring, back and forth. Finally, the match starts. It was a pretty good match. Like I said at Mania, I thought they had a really good match until the ending as well. Hard-hitting. Those guys seem like they work really well together. Sami Zayn ends up getting counted out, though. Kevin Owens wins. Kevin Owens ends up running outside the ring and up the ramp a little bit, grabs Sami, then throws him back in the ring and stuns him. That was the match. It was fine. It was what it was. I don't know why they're not getting away from each other now. I thought usually most of your main well, you know what? Because Backlash is called WrestleMania Backlash, so obviously they got to set up another match between them. What did you think?
I mean, if it's one thing the wrestling world needs more of, it's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn matches. But
right on. I thought it was going to be over after Mania, but I guess not.
Not my cup of tea. I saw more than enough at WrestleMania. I've seen more than enough of the two of them to last me a long time. Sami Zayn is needed back on Sesame Street. Oscar is lonely with Sammy's garbage can, not filled next to him. But what are you going to do?
All right, so then we're backstage. Apollo Crews, with we find out is Commander Aziz would give Big E a rematch tonight, but he's not there because of his commander. And it was quick little thing, Nigerian accent. We get a name of the guy that came in the ring during WrestleMania, and it's because he won because what would they call it? The Nigerian nail. So I don't know, quick little thing. We find out who he is. Good, I guess.
Mystery solved.
There you go. Not much to say. From there, Street Profits are coming down to the ring. They say it's it's take back season, and they want the titles back. They have motivation from the Sasha Bianca match. Yeah. They introduce Bianca Belair. She gets on the mics, says she's been floating since Saturday night. Never stopped believing. Everyone has some EST in them. She's not cocky. She just has dreamt it, and if you dream it, you can do it too. And then they give a big group hug. It was a very long segment. I didn't like this. You either go one way or the other. You either do the Street Profits talk about their stuff and that's it, or you do Bianca come out and do her thing. Why mix the two together? I know she's with Montez Ford, but we don't need them to be together to do all this. It was such a long segment. It was like, why are they doing this? I don't know how to talk about it.
Yeah, the EST here was the longest, I guess, because it was a long segment that wasn't all that interesting. You know, she had a nice couple of moments there, but it was just way too long. And trying to attach this WrestleMania main eventer at the hip with the male mid-card tag team on the show, I don't know. I just don't know sometimes.
They could do one or the other. From there, we see Sasha backstage. She's trying to speak, but she just couldn't. She was, I guess, so mad that she was a loss for words.
Couldn't get over it after 6 days, I guess. It was like when she lost the tag team titles and quit.
Right on, exactly. Then we're still backstage. Bayley's backstage. She says she was so busy saving Mania, but she seen Sasha was crying. She's arrogant. She didn't think she was gonna lose the title, but you know what? She did. Bayley wants a shot at the title now because she will be a great women's champion. I don't know. I guess there's a way to get Bayley another chance for Bayley to have a shot at the title. Don't know what they're going to do.
The world is waiting for more Bayley.
Maybe get a triple threat match: Bianca, Sasha, and Bayley at WrestleMania Backlash. What you'll want to see, right, buddy?
Oh yeah.
I figured so. From there, we get the SmackDown title match: the Dirty Dogs, which are Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, versus the Street Profits. Really good match. These guys have worked together a bunch, so they work great together. It's like, good storytelling in it. Ziggler and Roode end up retaining the titles. Yeah, I thought it was a good match. Not much to write about it. What did you think?
Like I usually say about the Street Profits, they're kind of a one-trick pony. They do what they do, and that's about it. There isn't much more to it. There isn't much less to it. Ziggler and Roode can have a pretty good tag team match with just about anyone. They can have a pretty good singles match with just about anyone. So I guess I'd say the match was fine.
There you go. We're backstage now. Caleb Braxton's talking with Cesaro. Cesaro says Paul Heyman is right about a lot of things, but he's wrong about saying he doesn't belong in the ring with Roman. So basically, he's going to go out there and prove himself tonight that he does. Quick little thing. I like it because we do like the ongoing things that throughout the night keep the story going. So I did like this. What did you think of it?
Yeah, short, sweet, to the point,
Right. Not all that pizzazz in it. Just a little bit of something to get us going. Not a 10-minute little promo backstage. I like it. From there, we get Shayna with Nia versus Natty with Tamina. Good match.
Oh,
Quick,
yeah.
though.
It was great.
It was a good match. It wasn't bad. I like Natty and Shayna. I think they're both good workers. It was quick, though, which is good, too. Natty won by pinfall. Nothing really to say other than just basically a rematch of the tag title match, except without the tag teams. It's just one.
A nice rematch of a match no one wanted to see to begin with after 2 nights of Natalya and Tamina at WrestleMania. Of all the possible talents to possibly put on WrestleMania for back-to-back nights, is there anyone that would have voted for Natalya and Tamina?
Probably not. I guarantee that. From there, we get a Jey Uso promo. Says Cesaro is one move man. Gonna show everyone why he is known as main event Jey Uso. Roman
I never
said,
knew he was known as main event Jey Uso.
me either, and I put that. When did he become that? But whatever. Roman says, "You heard the man. Now he's gonna go get him." And that's the thing. I like these quick little segments. I like the way Roman is with them. I like the way Jey Uso is. I love this whole character new turn that they've done with both of them. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Again, not much to say about it, but it was effective.
Exactly. So then we get the main event: Jey Uso versus Cesaro. Really good match, which I expected. Hard hitting. So impressed with Jey Uso. And what I was gonna ask you before we continue with Matt, what do you think they're gonna do with Jey once Jimmy comes back? Do you think they're gonna form him back tag team? Is he gonna join that?
Personal preference, I'd like to see them as a faction, but that's just me.
Okay.
I have no idea. No one from WWE in the the conversations that I've had with them has even broached him. So I don't know how far away he is from returning. I don't know. It's kind of interesting with Naomi as a babyface, but she's on Raw, I believe. So I don't think that would necessarily impact her.
Do you think WWE ever thought this would be this impressive that Jey Uso is doing, like the work he's been doing? Do you think they ever seen this in him?
I'd like to think they're smart enough that they did.
Because I just wondering if they thought, okay, so if he does get over, what are we going to do with Jimmy? You know what I mean? I'm just curious because sometimes, but he has done a great job. Great job.
Sure has.
As Cesaro's doing the swing, Seth Rollins comes out of nowhere and attacks Cesaro. I put great suit by Rollins once again. Rollins screams without the microphone, obviously, up the ramp. "You're not done with me. It's not over until I say it's over. I am the end-all, be-all of this industry." I honestly like this. I didn't mind that it was like that. You know why? Because if they're gonna continue it, I'd want him to continue with Seth other than anybody else because Seth is so good at this stuff. But what did you think of it?
I guess it was a good way to continue on with what Cesaro already began with Rollins, and a good way not to immediately put him in the mix with Roman.
There we go.
They have several weeks to go until that next pay-per-view, and, Cesaro could go with the route of a rematch with Rollins. He could go with the route of a rematch or a match with Roman, or maybe they could save the title match with Roman for Money in the Bank on June 20th. I'm not sure.
Yeah, right on. For me, I graded SmackDown. Same thing I gave AEW Dynamite on Wednesday night. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I thought there was some good stuff, and then there was some stuff that just kept on going on, but I didn't hate it. So I gave it a 6 out of 10. What did you think?
We are tied. I gave it a 6 out of 10 as well.
Look at that, huh? Now we have the news. You want to get into the news?
Hammer it, baby.
All right. Well, I know you'll probably have some things to say, but we'll talk about the biggest thing, which it happened all on Wednesday, but we'll talk about it now. All the releases. So we had Samoa Joe, Peyton Royce, Billy Kay, Chelsea Green, Bo Dallas, Kalisto, Tucker, Mickey James, Wesley Blake, and the hype man himself, Mojo Raleigh. I was honestly, for me, I'm going to get into first. I was shocked about Samoa Joe, and I was really, really shocked about Wesley Blake just because he just got out of that program with Seth. I know he's been off TV, but I thought it was because he was injured. So those were the two biggest ones for me. I knew Bo Dallas after what you had told me that he's happy being on a farm or something that, I didn't expect that. What did you think of all the releases?
Well, Wesley Blake, that's not the one that was aligned with Seth Rollins. That's Murphy.
No, I know. What? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant I'm surprised Wesley Blake because he was in. Have you been watching? What's it called? 205 Live.
No, I missed that one.
So then, never mind. I just yeah, never mind then. But yeah, so that's the only reason why is because he's been on 205 Live a lot. So I just figured, but I guess like you said, they're cutting all different ways, which I don't know why because they're making tons of money anyways. But I guess it's that time of the month.
Well, time of the year, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think it was a little cold. I think they could have waited a week or two after WrestleMania.
Right.
One man's opinion. With Samoa Joe, I think he had a heck of a commentator there. I don't know if there were any issues behind the scenes where maybe Joe was pushing to return in ring and WWE didn't feel comfortable due to his concussion issues at Joe's age. maybe they didn't feel like he'd be that big of a loss if he went eventually to AEW or Impact or another promotion
I
like
hope he
that.
goes back. Like I was saying, I hope he goes back to Impact. I just think it would be so cool for him to go back there because that's where he started. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I agree with you. And,
Or honestly, for me, I know you don't care about it, but I would even love to see him go back to Ring of Honor for a little bit, just because that's where he really got his roots going. And it'd be so good, so much fun for a fan like me that's been a fan of the product since its existence.
maybe he'll come to Boston Wrestling MWF.
That would be even better than all of it. I would love
He'll be
that.
a free agent in November when we have our 20th anniversary live event.
I'd be down all day for that. That would be great.
No, I just disappointed overall on that, but I have to say, and I've noted it many times on this show, the one that I think was disappointed the most because it was just one thing you hate to see in any sport is wasted potential, and that was Bo Dallas. So many different avenues they could have gone with Bo. His work on the non-televised house show events was always much, much, much better than anything that was ever portrayed on television, much like I used to say about Apollo Crews before they started to give him his push last year on Raw shortly after WrestleMania. But you know what? I guess he saw the writing on the wall and was preparing for life after WWE, so I say good for him. Hopefully he's a happy man. He's got Liv Morgan as his housemate, so I don't think he could be doing too bad as far as that aspect of his world goes. I look at Kalisto. I don't know why you'd want to release someone like Kalisto that, was over with the fans, someone kids enjoyed, always had a really good match as far as I was concerned. They gave him somewhat of a decent-sized push back in 2015 when he defeated Del Rio after Del Rio defeated John Cena to win the United States Championship. So that one came as I wouldn't call it a shocker, but a little bit of a surprise. Everyone else on that list, do you really care?
No, I was honestly one more was I know you don't care, but I'm just saying because she was part of SmackDown the week before and at WrestleMania was Billie Kay.
Yeah.
It just
I hate to say it because it's cruel to say about a human being that loses their jobs, but I hated the Iconics with a deep guttural passion. So not to have them on my TV anymore. Good riddance. Mickie James, she's been around forever, injured a lot. They tried her as a commentator. Hopefully she finds a place that they can better utilize her talent, whether it be AEW. Maybe they could make her the NWA Women's Champion and unite with her husband there, Nick Aldis. You saw another couple that could possibly reunite with, I believe, Chelsea Green. Doesn't she go with Zack Ryder?
Yeah.
No,
yep.
There you go. Another couple there. And Peyton Royce, she can go with Sean Spears. Maybe she can become part of the Pinnacle. Who else did we have there? Mojo Raleigh. I think he was around for the Rob Gronkowski Friendship Award.
Yep.
Now, after he lost the 24/7 title, stick a fork in Mojo Raleigh. It's been a while since we've seen him. But Tucker is a guy I feel bad for because I thought him and Otis together were no one I really wanted to especially see every week. But in a company that lacks tag teams so much, I thought they were a fun little mid-card tag team that didn't need to be pushed as anything seriously. And, as a result of that foolishness with Otis and Mandy Rose that went absolutely nowhere, then Tucker's heel turn on Otis that went absolutely nowhere because Otis is a heel now. They basically pissed on the poor guy. So I kind of feel for Tucker, even if he's not my cup of tea.
I totally agree. And you called it, too, because you were like, hope you've been collecting, saving your paycheck. So you kind of knew the writing was on the wall. But yeah, I was, those are the main ones.
Am I forgetting anybody? Or was that?
No.
I hit them all?
That was it. Yep, you hit them all.
Well,
the only, I just couldn't believe, honestly, like I said, with Samoa Joe, that was the biggest shock to me just because I was like, God damn, the guy was just literally doing in a poncho, remember? Saturday?
Yeah. Why would you want to get rid of a good commentator in a company that needs good commentators?
Right,
and why would you want to lose someone that could potentially be, unless, again, there are issues that went on behind the scenes that you and I don't know about, why would you want to lose someone that could be maybe not in WWE, a main event talent, but certainly an upper card talent?
Yeah, I mean, What I thought I was just reading too is he had been cleared fall before WrestleMania too to return to the ring. So maybe it was like you said that WWE didn't want him to. So maybe that's I don't know has something to do with.
I think his whole run was kind of disappointing in WWE.
Other than that one big match, which I was living in Florida for when he was in NXT and beat Finn at Lowell's show.
Yes, that was actually an excellent match. I remember being there live for that one. I was disappointed to see my buddy Finn lose the championship. And I'll also say I thought he had an exceptionally good match at the, I believe, the one and only time we'll ever see a pay-per-view called Great Balls of Fire.
That's right.
When he had that match with Lesnar, I thought that was excellent too.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And I don't know. I hope you never know. Maybe he'll be back at some point. But right now, like I said, I hope he either goes back to Impact or Ring of Honor. I think it'd be great. Maybe even come back to Boston Wrestling in November. That would be awesome too.
Well, there's no shortage of options for him, that's for sure, especially as life opens up more and more, as more people get vaccinated from coronavirus and life returns a little bit more to normal month by month, you know.
Right on.
He's someone that I can't imagine there is any promotion that runs full time that wouldn't want Joe to be on their roster. So I think he'll be a guy that doesn't have to worry. There are many people on that list, like we saw on that list last April, that did have reason to worry.
Right on. Oh, I totally agree. The only other thing I seen was what we've been talking about with Aleister Black. It looks like they're gearing up for him to return. I guess they're going to start running some vignettes and stuff for him. I was reading that he's going to be getting his character change on him. It's going to be more based on how he grew up and based on a character like that. So if that's true, the rumors are right, that'd be kind of good to get him back on television because he's definitely been a wasted talent.
Who is going to be knocking on his door?
I don't know. Who?
I don't know. I have no idea at this point. But I'll say this. It was months ago that I was told they were working on the list of the people that were released this week. I'm also under the belief that this isn't it. I think you're going to see more along the lines of NXT type men and women that are going to be gone by the time we do another show.
I did read that. I did read that they're planning on doing an NXT sweep too. But who could they? I wonder. Other than like guys that are on very low, who are you going to get rid of? Most like that's what I was trying to think is. Other than really, really low card guys that you probably don't even know who they are, who are they going to get rid of?
Well, at some point you got to look at it. Is this someone that A can contribute to the NXT TV show, or B are they going to contribute to Raw or SmackDown? And if you get to the point where the answer is no, why keep them around?
My top guy that I know probably will is Robert Stone. Robbie E. Probably be gone.
Why do you say that?
Because you even said you could never see that on Raw or SmackDown.
Oh, it's so boring, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You just said what you said. That's why I'm going with what I said. I think him. I think the girl he's with, Aaliyah. I think she'll be gone. Those are two that I was just going by what you just said. And I think those two are definitely two that'll be see you later, which are still on TV, but like you said, is their gimmick going to ever work on Raw or SmackDown? No.
And is it working in NXT now?
No. You know what I'm saying? So that's why.
Yeah, I don't remember. Was it before Christmas that I mentioned that on one of the shows? Because I know I had I thought these cuts, honestly, were all going to come before WrestleMania. I don't know if they did that as kind of an act of kindness to hold off until a couple of days after WrestleMania to make the cuts. But I don't know if it was Christmas time, but I know they were working on this list for at least a couple months.
Yeah, I don't remember when you said it, but I do know you were telling me that, the plan on the releases. I don't remember exactly. But
I didn't think it would take this long, I guess, was my only surprise.
And you know what? You could be totally right because of COVID and all that. They waited a little bit longer. Who knows?
You know what? They'll all be paid through July unless their contracts were ending sometime soon. So, hopefully by the time July comes, life will be opened up a little bit more and these promotions will, feel more comfortable running live events and have a little bit more income generated from ticket sales and things like that. And, there'll be a landing spot for many of them. Good thing is, like we noted, a lot of them are involved in couples, that are people that have full-time contracts in other companies right now. So, they're not totally out of luck.
Right, yeah. I mean, like I said, hopefully these guys, some of these talents will end up finding, some of them will find talent in other places, AEW, Impact, ROH. I guess the future's bright for most of them. I don't know
Well,
about.
I unfortunately is even though I'm not a great fan of some of the women that were released, I think they'll probably even have a better shot of finding a place to go because there are just so few adequate women, and I may not like the Iconics, but at least they were put through the right training system going through WWE developmental. Someone like Tucker, that's a repackaging process right there. Mojo Raleigh, same thing. Callisto, I mean, I don't know. I can't think off of the top of my head what his name was prior to WWE, but there's a guy that I think will find a landing spot. I can't see why a promotion wouldn't want to try and give Bo Dallas a run if Bo wanted to go full time. So it'll be interesting to see. Remember, there were 30 individuals that were released, I believe, a year ago on the same day when Little Leo and the rest of the pack were ex-nayed from WWE, and some have found homes and some haven't. That would actually probably make for an interesting episode. Who is where a year later?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It must be so weird for Bray too because he watches his younger just get released, and he's so. I wonder how you deal with that when you're a family like that. You know what I mean?
Well, he's got his wife sitting at home now, the former ring announcer. They canned his father. Now his brother. I mean, not that I think he has anything to worry about, but
yeah, he's the only one that's doing something that he knows his job's safe, which is just so crazy. It just blows my mind like that. One other thing was this Sunday. I don't know if you were going to watch it, the A&E documentary for Stone Cold, the new WWE series they're doing on A&E.
I will make an attempt to watch that because I consider Austin to be the biggest superstar in the history of our industry, and I think it'll make for a pretty good show. It has the potential to be a pretty good show. I don't know what direction they're going to take it, but it's one that I think I'll at least set the DVR for.
I can't wait for it. I have my countdown on for that. I cannot wait. That's going to be awesome. And also, since we're talking about, did you end up watching the Jericho Broken Skull session yet?
Believe it or not, no. I'm still trying to get caught up on all our stuff.
I still know when you know your night's sleep, when you go into bed if you put it on. But
I still have to figure out how to use Peacock.
Oh, okay. Well, they did talk about everything you thought they probably wouldn't have, but they did. They talked about it all. They brought up the Tony Khan's. It was crazy. I never thought they would bring up all the names they did, but they did. So
I guess in the end of the day, that shows you how much of a threat Vince McMahon really considers AEW to be to them.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, I was shocked. I honestly was shocked.
Could you imagine that during the Bischoff days of WCW?
No way.
Yeah.
No way. But that's everything.
All right. Well, fans, we have covered it from A to Z. The April 16th, 2021 edition of WWE SmackDown. If you're with us on the premiere Saturday night, share your thoughts in the little premiere box to our right. Hopefully, we have to actually make you a moderator, Dave. So you're going to have to chime in during the live premiere. We have granted such access to the legends of Boston wrestling, such as Slick Rick B, Maria Davis, and Tania Smokey. We only granted her moderation privileges under one name, though. She was a little upset, but hopefully we calmed her down. And that helps the cause because I especially now where I'm so busy trying to get everything caught up on our end, I can't always be there for the premieres. Don't forget tonight at 10 p.m., even though we did not have a full week of Wrestling Insiders to do a Wrestling Insiders Week in Review, we have a bonus episode of the Monday Mission with Oscar of Men on a Mission from mid-90s WWF fame. Oscar and I have an almost 2-hour episode breaking down WrestleMania 37. So we have a lot of fun that takes us into late night Saturday. And again, if you missed this week's brand new episodes of Party with Marty on Thursday night and John Cena Sr.'s Fabulous Fridays last night after SmackDown, those are available in the YouTube archives now. And as I noted, hopefully, knock on wood, we will be back to our regular schedule next week. I know Dave and I are planning on having a live pay-per-view watch-along for the big Impact Wrestling pay-per-view next Sunday night. Is it called Rebellion?
Yeah, Rebellion. And they announced that Mauro Ranallo, we were just talking about, was going to announce the main event of that, which is Juan versus Kenny Omega.
He's probably screaming already. He's so excited. What do you think? You think he's
Sure,
going to
that's, you know
scream?
what I mean? Yeah, he's always over the top, you know, for
He'll
a
be over the
punch.
top. We'll,
Oh,
we'll,
yeah.
we'll be able to hear him from Nashville. He'll be so excited. Well, that
That's
is a match I look forward to seeing. 2 MWF alumni. Both Rich Swann and Kenny Omega have competed here in Boston Wrestling MWF. So that's an interesting match for us to see. Those Impact Wrestling pay-per-views can be hit or miss, as we've seen, and they've done some pretty good eyeballs as far as our watch-alongs go. So hopefully, again, knock on wood, that continues. Whether you order Impact Wrestling Rebellion or just want to join us for the fun, Dave and I plan on being LIVE live. So again, look forward to that. In early May, we're hoping to bring you the first ECW pay-per-view, Barely Legal, as we lead into the MWF studio debut of one of the hardcore icons, New Jack, on Saturday night, May the 8th. So a lot to look forward to.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
All right, fans, for Dave Carter, I'm Dan Mirade. Get your beverage, get your snack ready. We're on a mission at 10 p.m. with Oscar as we review WrestleMania 37. We'll see you at 10. The World Wrestling Federation was live at Deutschlandhalle in Berlin, Germany, Wednesday, April the 17th, 1996. In the opening contest, the Bushwhackers and the Godwins beat WWF Tag Team Champions, the Body Donners, the 1-2-3 Kid, and Leif Cassidy. In an arm wrestling match, Ahmed Johnson with the win over Davey Boy Smith via disqualification. Jake the Snake Roberts defeated Isaac Yankem, DDS. Justin Hawk Bradshaw victorious over Savio Vega. Hunter Hearst Helmsley beat Razor Ramon. Bret Hitman Hart with the win over Steve Austin. The Undertaker defeated Owen Hart. And in the main event, WWF World Champion Shawn Michaels retained the title over Diesel. If you were in Deutschlandhalle Live, share your memories in the comment section below. Use the links in the description box to keep Wrestling Legends working in our eBay store and on our acclaimed Patreon streaming service so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston Wrestling Sports in the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's no-holds-barred sex, drugs, and rock and roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.